Hi there, grade threes. Today we're going to be doing a review of number patterns and problem solving using a number pattern. So I wanted to do an example together to show you what to do since we haven't done this in a little while. So I'm thinking once we do this example together, you're going to probably go back in your mind and say, I remember when we did that earlier in the year. Okay, so first of all, let's read the information. It's very important to read it first. So it says, Callum creates this number pattern. Start at 1. So I'm going to underline the important information here. So the numbers start at 1 and add 5 each time. Now the second part here says, Alex creates this number pattern. So her number pattern says start at 4 and add 3 each time. So that's my information. Now I have the task of what I have to do. So what they're asking us to do is write a pattern that is in both, write a number, sorry, I've got pattern in my mind, write a number that is in both patterns. So what we're going to do is we're going to do some of Callum's pattern first. So I'm just going to put a C for Callum. There we go. And I'm going to put a little bit of a line or an arrow or something like that. So I separate his pattern from his name. So there's C for Callum. So he starts at 1 and he adds 5 each time. Now this is where oftentimes I've seen boys and girls go, oh, okay, 1, and then they go 5, and then they add 5, 10. Now, but the problem is you start at 1 and you add 5. So if you add 5 to 1, it's not 5, it is 6. So we've got to really be careful on that one. Sometimes it's easy to think that those are the first two to start at, but it's actually, or you want to count by 5s if it says 5. So we are going to be counting by 5s, but it's not going to be starting at 5 because that would be adding to 0 to get 5. So we had 1, we added 5 more, so we are at 6. So you want to put commas between your numbers because if I didn't put a comma there, it would say 16. So 1, 6, I'm going to add 5 to 6, and that's going to give me 11, comma. Now I'm going to add 5 again, and I've got 16, and then I'm going to add 5 again, and I'm noticing a pattern here. When we used to do our counting circles, we used to notice those patterns we would see. So I'm noticing that it finishes in the ones column with a 1 and a 6, a 1 and a 6. So I want to calculate it, but I also know that the next one should end with a 1. So 21. So I can keep calculating it, or I can just take the pattern and say 26, and then it would end with a 1. It's going to have to be 31. So you don't want to go on and on and on with your pattern here. You want to just do several like this. So I did 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I've got about 7 there. So I've got exactly 7 actually. So now I'm going to think about Alex's pattern. So because I want to find a number that's in both. So if I had my highlighter, I would do that. So I need to find a number that's in both. So now I'm going to write A for Alex, and she starts at 4. So 4 is going to be my first number. Then she adds a 3. So I think 4 plus 3 is 7. Okay. So I have a 4 and a 7. I want to find a number in both patterns. There's no 4 or a 7 here, so I haven't found it yet. So now I'm going to continue with my pattern. So 7 plus 3, I know gives me 10. So I'm going to put 10, comma. No 10 up there, so I'm going to keep going. So I add, 10 plus 3 is 13. Nope. Okay, so I'm going to keep going. And then 13 plus 3 is 16. And look, 16 and 16. So I'm going to take a different color here. I'm going to circle both the 16s. So a number that is in both patterns is 16. Now, if I kept going, I might find other numbers that are the same as well. But you only need to find a number, one number that's the same. So the easiest is just to find the first number that's the same. So I've written down the patterns, I've shown which one is the same, and then of course I always want to end in a sentence. So I'm not sure if you can still see down here. I'm trying to prop up my whiteboard here. So I would just answer here what number I found. So I might just say something simple like the number is 16, or I might want to do it a little more clearly. So I'm going to lean down here and I'm going to write, we know I'm not going to put the, I was going to put the number, but there could be more than one number if I kept going. So I'm just going to put the a number in both patterns is 16, period. So today you're going to have a question that's almost the same as this, except of course I'm going to give you a different pattern to do. It's not going to be 1 add 5 or 4 adding 3 because we just did that. So, but I want you to do the same thing here to show me your answer. So I want you to either put their name of the person that I've put for the problem, sorry, or you could just put their first letter if you want to be like me. Okay, so you put their first initial there or their name, and then you follow their pattern. Okay, and you want to have several of those, maybe 6 or 7. Then you look at your next person. You want to create their pattern, again, putting those commas in between so it doesn't look like just one long number. And then as you're doing that second pattern, you want to, every time you find the next number, you want to kind of look up and see if it matches another number. And then you want to do just like we did here. When I got to 16, oh, there we go. I didn't have to go any farther. So, and then you're going to just type in your final sentence about which number you found that was in both patterns. So I hope this example helps you, and I hope you enjoy our problem with solving a number pattern today. All right, have a great day. Bye.